A very good afternoon, everyone present out here. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to the panel discussion, Higher Education as Launchpad, Turning Learning into Leadership. My name is Dr. Sumitra Roy. I am your moderator for the session, and it's a wonderful honor to host such a distinguished panel of leaders from diverse industries who have translated their educational journey into leadership roles. In today's rapidly evolving world, higher education is not just acquiring a piece of degree. It's way ahead than this. It's all about cultivating the skill set, mindset, or the agility which is required to lead in this dynamic and complex environment. As organizations seek leaders who can think critically or communicate effectively and drive change, the role of these educational institutions has become more crucial in shaping the leaders. The aim of this panel discussion is to understand how these educational institutions can go beyond this academic instructions to install these competencies, whether through curriculum activities, curriculum redesign, or maybe mentorship, or we can say through experiential learning. To understand this, we will dive into the session, and we have identified some of the questions, and we would request our panel members to share their viewpoints on this. To start with, Mr. Sriram Sunder, let me begin with you. How can higher education, in your opinion, support students' personal growth alongside academic excellence? Sorry.
Hello. So, thanks for the question. Nice to meet all of you. So, how does higher education help? You learn a lot of subject matter with respect to marketing, finance, HR, depending on what you choose. But I think one of the most important things that higher education offers is the soft skills. Soft skills is something which is equally important. Like, for example, a while back, they said that they're shivering to talk. That's one great example, right? So this environment forces you to learn something called partnership and collaboration. I think partnership and collaboration is one of the most, if not the most important thing that you need when you get into your career, because you rise or fall as a team. So this environment is going to help you learn partnership and collaboration. It's going to help you learn how to work with each other. It's going to help you how to communicate and then achieve a goal together, because you can't do anything on your own. So I think, in my opinion, that's one of the main things you're going to learn here, which is how to work with people and how to function as a group.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that enlightening perspective, Mr. Sriram. It's great to see personal growth and being valued as part of academic success. Mr. Joseph, let's talk about peer learning. Here, my question is, how can peer collaboration and group project in universities foster better leadership than traditional lectures? I hope this is audible.
It is. Firstly, I would like to welcome you all. You guys have taken the first step in getting to the next stage of your life. So congratulations. Thank you for the question, Doctor. If you were to ask me, how is, group projects different, or, peer coordination different from traditional lectures? If you were to ask me, right? Traditional lectures, what happens? The emphasis is on sharing whatever the professor knows to the students, right? Is that right? So, when you get into projects, right, or when you talk about leadership, what's leadership? Leadership is, it involves management, it involves communication, and also it involves adaptability. Now, on the skills, it is very, very critical that, you are part of a project. And what does the project or the group project helps you with? It helps you to engage with people. It helps you to, build trust, build accountability, share your perspective, and in certain cases also, resolve conflict. Now, this is what a leader does in the real world. So this is my response to your question, Doctor.
Thank you, sir. A powerful point indeed. Peer-led learning helps students get ready for the real-life situations. Moving to the next question, Ms. Belani. How important do you think is global exposure and cultural understanding in today's higher educational landscape?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that question. Congratulations, everyone. Is this your day one?
Yeah.
Tired? Not yet. Welcome to the Institute. Thank you for making this decision to get a professional degree, because it is going to help you. It may look really, really difficult now, but I think as you grow in your careers and as you focus on what you're doing with your own lives, you will realize the value of the education that your parents or guardians have invested in for you. So make the most of it first before anything else. Ma'am is talking about global exposure, and definitely it is important because we are such a digital world now, right? Everything and everyone is as close or as far as a touch screen button, right? So why is it important? Because I think it takes us out from that frog in the well kind of scenario where whatever we see is all that we know. And it is fine to live like that in your younger days because it helps you, give you a foundation and a platform with a secure environment, and there's everything that's familiar around. But as you grow, the kind of exposure that you get, it will give you a sense of what exists in the world. And why is it important in places where we work? Because it gives you a global context. It gives you a sense of the trends that are happening, how people are thinking, behaving, or what are the changes that are coming in technology, or how are consumers buying. Everything you can get to know only when you're exposed to different kinds of environments. From the cultural point of view, I think it also helps you become a little more sensitive. Like you will figure out, even in this college, because it is going to be a mixed bag of everyone across different Indian states. And you will figure out as you interact with your friends that you understand different cultures and different geographies more, different festivals, how people think and decide, or what people wear, or what are the intrinsic biases that we may have. And all this knowledge is very, very special. So as you're learning, even within your academics, your textbooks and assignments and projects are going to be very, very important. But also make time to observe what's happening around you, right? Which are the kind of people that you are meeting, which kind of groups get formed easily, who are the decision makers in those groups. So all these learnings will help you even when you get into an office, because you're picking them up from college. And it is okay if we have done our graduation and we are born, brought up and lived in a particular state, and we have that foundation now, but now you're open to the world. So as you're going through life, and even this course of 2 years, make sure you really keenly observe your surroundings and use that as practical learning, because that is what you will take into the into your organization. And global exposure is important because these qualities of understanding what's happening in the world context, the sensitivity, the empathy, these are very key leadership indicators when people are looking to hire for senior roles. Given everything else is equal, or even if a person has all the technical capabilities for a particular role, but if these aspects are missing, where they don't have a global outlook or they don't know what's happening in the industry, they are seen as sort of not aware and not ready for the very senior role, right? So if you have to work, survive, thrive, and then grow, I think this is going to be a very, very key aspect. So keep your mind open at all times. And of course, take your common sense along. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Very insightful. And like you said, my global mindset is very much essential in this tomorrow's professionals. So my next question is, Mr. Thejaswi, we often talk about responsible citizenship as an outcome of education. So how does higher education contribute to building responsible and informed citizens?
I'm audible, right? Yeah. Super. Yeah, first of all, congratulations. You guys are really wonderful and taken the right decision to pursue your higher education, right? A big round of applause, please, for yourself. I know it's post-lunch. You had a very exciting keynote as well. We guys don't want to bore you folks here. Okay? That was not the agenda. But yeah, I think as I did hear from all three of them here, empathy and active collaboration, maybe a lot of leadership, how do you build upon these things, play a very important role in the academics which you're studying. Hands down, there is no questions about it. Right? For being a what is the question about? Being a good citizen, is it?
Yes, how does higher education contribute to building responsible and informed citizens?
Yeah, kind of responsible citizen. I might not be that high, both in terms of age, in terms of my career, but still I'll try to touch upon few things which I have experienced or come across in past 20, 25 years of my experience, right? One of the main things what I feel to anyone, it could be an entrepreneur, it could be an engineer like me, it could be all these heads sitting here from a sales or marketing or HR related divisions. How can you put yourself in the shoe of an end user? How can you put yourself in the shoe of your colleague, of your peer, and try to take that problem head on, right? How can you empathize to the situation is a very key factor. Because even when I was a junior engineer, or even today when I'm heading few of my departments, around 80% of conflicts happen between people. It is not because of me not knowing a technology or not knowing a domain. It is a people-related conflict which happens. And unfortunately, this is the last thing which we expect to be part of any professional career, right? But that is where things all stop. And we spend a lot of time in breaking those conflicts and trying to be much more empathized to the situation. Maybe this is one key factor which I really urge all of you to learn as part of this MBA curriculum. Because if you ask me in my engineering or even in my post-graduation, these are a few of the chapters I would have read, and then I thought things will fall in place. But more often than not, as MBA being one of the last milestone before you enter the professional work or the entrepreneurship or trying to deal with the real world, this is one good opportunity where we can utilize our practical learnings to the fullest. Keep questioning yourself, keep questioning your great faculty around on what does it actually mean from whatever we are studying in terms of practicals, because you are one step closer to entering to the real world, which is a bit chaotic, which is, yeah, even though we want to bring a bit of structure there, it's a lot chaotic over there, right? So I really urge all of you to see how you can bring more empathy into whatever you're learning, because a few examples which I can take is, when I'm building a solution, it could be a Facebook or it could be any of the solutions within Microsoft. If I don't think from my billions of customers, I'm just going to fall flat. Right? So that is one of the main advantages which you all are here. Why I feel higher education, where MBA really plays a key role, is you are going to have like 2 to 3 years of practical learning. Make the best use of it, and I think the rest will follow. Thank you.
Thank you. Very well said, sir. So far we have discussed some of the general questions. I would like to have some more experience of yours, like how your educational journey has led this to your leadership roles. So let's dive into the questions which is related to your journey. Again, coming back to Mr. Sriram Sunder, this question goes like, how has your educational background in business management and experience helped shape your leadership in driving digital transformation projects in the investment banking industries?
Thank you. So again, I'll split my answer into 2 parts. Your first part is your knowledge, which you learn through lectures, textbooks, etc. The other half of it is your skills. I think background in business management and my experience so far has helped me shape my skills more. Knowledge is something you learn. Like, you might handle different projects at different points in time. No project is going to be the same. The subject matter is also going to be different. You might sometimes do a finance project, sometimes an operational project. It doesn't matter. But what stays constant is skills. And one of those skills is communication and confidence. I think that's something, like the gentleman said, you have 2 years to learn and practice here, because that's very important. Once you join a job, at the very least, you'll be expected to walk up to people and just talk to them. You don't know them, they don't know you. You just walk up to them and talk to them, and if they're good, they'll talk back, or they'll stare at you, wondering why this person is talking to me, but you have to do it anyway. And I'll give you one more example. When I took on my first project, this was almost 10 years back, I was on a call with 3 people from 3 different countries. And then we spoke for half an hour about the project. I know everything about the project. I know the knowledge, I have the communication skill, etc. But I didn't understand their accent. So for half an hour, 3 of them spoke. I was on mute. At the end, they all turned to me, and I didn't know what to say. The only thing I could say is, I'm sorry, I've not understood your accent for the past half an hour. Can you please send it on email? So this was obviously not good on my part, right? I should have stopped them before. So these are, and this is just one example out of thousands which you have to prepare yourself for. Awkward situations. The only way you drive through these is confidence and practice. So that's my message, and that's what my experience has taught me so far. Because project management is mostly about your confidence and your ability to work with people and manage your stakeholders. Because if you don't deliver what your stakeholders want, then your project is a failure. So, thank you.
Thank you, sir. I hope our students are making a note of this. So these are some real experiences we are getting to know here. So my next question is to Mr. Joseph Stephen. Sir, how has your higher education experience contributed to your ability to lead high-performing teams and drive revenue growth in top banking institutions like Citibank and HSBC?
Thank you, Doctor, for the question. When we build a house, right, what's the most fundamental thing that you need to get right? I'm asking everybody here. I can't hear you guys. Absolutely. So if you don't have or get your foundation right, your house, which will be your home tomorrow, is not going to be right. So, if it has to withstand the sun, the wind, the rain, your foundation has to be very, very strong. So, my advice to everybody here, you may be a leader, you might not be a leader, but, understand one thing, you need to get your foundation right. And you are at a place where you can set that right. So, the biggest thing is, ensure that you network within your classes, with your seniors, with your professors, because this is something which nobody will tell you. This is a skill that you'll have to develop. And after a particular point, right, you'll remember me talking today, maybe after a decade, maybe after 2 decades, that, this is really, really critical if you really want to grow into a leadership position. I would like to end my talk by telling you, guys, everything in life is either an experience or a learning. It is for you to decide what it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Joseph, for sharing your experience. Moving next. Ms. Bina, you emphasize a people-first approach alongside innovation. What key lessons from academia would you highlight to help aspiring HR leaders bridge the gap between theoretical framework and real-world organizational impact?
Okay. So your madam is asking me, what do you take out of this college into the real world once you start working, right? That is a simple question. What do you think you will take out of here? Skills. Okay, great. And? Louder. Learning, skill and learning, okay. Anything else? Learning, skill, knowledge, network. All right, good. Good answers. And you're also speaking, which is good. That's more important. Do you also give those 5 marks for class participation? Exactly. So we used to have that concept in college where you get an extra 5 marks for class participation. People used to speak rubbish, right? So don't do that. All right. So ma'am was asking me, what do you take out of your college out into the real world? And why is it important to study? Why can't we just get into the world and start working? We can do it. It is an option. But when you come to a school like this, when somebody has invested their time and money and sent you to a place like this to get a formal education, what you do develop through the various learnings and the academic investment, like a project or an assignment or an internship or a chance to speak to leaders from other organizations, is that you develop a structured way of thinking, because structures are provided to you in the form of a framework or a concept or a model, right? So if any of you opt for HR, for example, you will learn Herzberg's theories, and you will learn Maslow's theories, and you will learn many other things, right? But when you enter an office, you will wonder, where am I using whatever I have learned? There was some diagram, and the teacher gave us some marks for it, and where am I applying it? Because you cannot apply things in an office like that. It's not a chart paper assignment, no? So what you will take out of here is a structured way of thinking, and you will have a cleaner framework of how to make decisions. And then when you get into the corporate world, you will have to apply all those learnings. And while you are applying them, you will have to humanize them, which means that you have to use your common sense and make decisions based on individual situations, or based on individuals, or based on what the organization is asking, depending on which situation you're trying to solve. And that is where your success will come in. And this is irrespective of whether you are a junior, an intern, a fresher, a senior, or a mid-manager. It doesn't matter where in the levels of the organization you fit. But if you are able to successfully and tactfully adapt your learnings from this school and take it to your workplace smartly, while keeping the human element in mind, I think that is where the success will come, right? So I hope I have clearly
Wonderfully said, ma'am.
Yeah,
and this is not only for the students, I guess this is also an answer for me, because so far I was also in confusion. What to do with this framework? What to do with all this theory? After long years, I have got my answer. Thank you, ma'am. Moving towards next question, Mr. Thejaswi. How has your higher education in technology shaped your ability to lead cross-functional teams in designing scalable and secure solutions at Microsoft India?
Wonderful. Thanks, Doctor. How many of you want to be an entrepreneur here? Just, wow, very good. This is like 30% of your class. Super aspiration. All the best. I think you are in the right mode as well. How many of you know Word, Excel, PowerPoint today? I'm expecting 100%, right? Yeah, maybe you are tired by raising your hands, that's okay. Yeah, sir, you guys know it. How many of you know AI? Yeah, right? Kind of a bit. We have heard, maybe we have seen a bit of reels, maybe we have seen few companies laying off here and there. Trust me, it is changing the whole landscape now. This is once in a decade, or maybe even if I can say once in 2 decades, kind of an opportunity where AI is going to change everything. Maybe yes, banks will take a bit more longer to adopt, right? Maybe yes, it's a bit of money. We don't want that to be in AI hands already. But AI is the new future. Maybe when computers were introduced, few of us might know, we were also new when computers started. When my first computer class during my engineering, right? A madam came to the board. She started writing. We call it as programs in computers. So she started writing on the board. I am writing a program to add 2 numbers. I was like, why do I need a program? Why do I need a big computer to add 2 numbers? And then she wrote 10 plus 2 is equal to 12, and that was my first test. I was like still wondering, what are we even doing? AI is in that kind of a nascent stage today. And I was just trying to see all you entrepreneurs try to learn what is AI offering. And this is true for our education system as well today. Let us all learn. It's not that I have to build AI, right? I have to know, similarly to what all of us know, what is Word, what is PowerPoint. AI has so much to offer already. Maybe I'm talking about AI today as Microsoft's employee here because I'm seeing it changing all of my businesses. I'm seeing it changing the way we are thinking today. Everything's going to be irrelevant whenever it really flourishes. One friendly advice to all of you, be up to date. Your next 2 to 3 years of journey has to be in upskilling, how technology is transforming. It's very important, not because I have to know I'm a software engineer. It's primarily because if I'm opening a business here, if I'm interested in being part of a professional setup of any of my companies, knowing what AI offers will be our bread and butter going forward. And lucky you're still part of the learning journey. Maybe we here have to adopt on the job and have to really transform our businesses on the job, which is even a bit more trickier. And you guys have a headway of about 2 to 3 years to see and then learn and then move forward, right? Make the best use of it in both sides. As part of our curriculums as well, I'll also try to work with our professors here to see if I can interact more often with you folks to see how we can bring in what's happening in the industry much closer to your education system as well. But that's one chance, please start utilizing. Second, another thing which, as I started in the beginning note, right, being empathetic to the situation, being empathetic to our customers, another main thing for me in this industry would be of art of storytelling. I don't know how many of you are really having that ability to transform an idea and tell it very crisply and clearly to other person. Maybe that's one basic ability which is required for me as an MBA grad. Yeah, not even MBA grad, anyone graduating, anyone being part of a system, as we heard from folks here, right? I have to talk to everyone across the globe. And I might hardly have a minute or two to just convey the message in a very crisp and a formal manner. And that is one more very key ability which all of us across the industry has to have. And you folks are in the middle of that learning journey itself for next 2 to 3 years. Make best use of it. Everyone, yeah, all of us do shiver. All of us do stumble upon a lot of things. All of us do get a bit nervous. Try to be more and more nervous now in next 2 years, in your smaller groups, in front of your lecturers, in front of everyone possible. And then that will take that fear out of the system, which is really required for you to transform your idea. Because why I'm talking about storytelling, I'm just talking to all of MBA grads here, where it would be one or the other way you will be directly involved in, right? These are a few of the aspects, and there are many more. We'll keep discussing along the way. But yeah, all the very best. I see a lot of bright futures here. Keep up the great work as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thejaswi, for sharing your experience and also the tips for the students and for us, maybe. Overall, that's a thought-provoking session. We will open it up for some questions. Can we have some quick questions, please?
Good evening, everyone. My question to you all is that if a student is pursuing higher education, like all of us have come here to pursue higher education, and we want to pursue entrepreneurship in future, what are the steps we need to take right now during the journey of PGDM? Thank you.
For one, save some cash. Considering all of us are from the corporate, I'm not sure who can be in a rightful position to give you that advice. It is important to have a backup, which means that of course it involves money. Yes, you will get investors, but you have to have a backup plan. You can't be the only sole member, looking after a 5-6 member family and saying that, I'm going to risk it all now. May not be the best time to do it, so time it well. Have a USP, understand what you want to offer to the world and whether somebody wants to accept it or not, because I may be the best flower maker, but if there's no buyer, then there's no use. So check your demand and supply, what is special about you, and of course have a great risk-taking appetite. Yeah. And then of course the business game, network well, get good investors, things like that. Yeah.
Wonderful, thanks Bina. Can I go? Or... So I didn't get your name.
So my name is Gigi Shri.
Sorry?
Gigi Shri.
Jai Shri.
Gigi Shri.
J.G. Shri. Wonderful. Where are you from?
Tamil Nadu, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a very a personal question as well. I have tried to venture into 3 or 4 small projects. Maybe 10 to 15 years back, one of my friend, we both came together. We wanted to set up something for a emergency response team. It's something similar to 911 in some other country. We wanted to set up a small machine at every house. Press of a button, we'll be there to you in like maybe a few minutes. Yeah, we built, we had a good idea. We built it. We went places to collate those electronic items and all. And after 2 years, it died down. Maybe yes, for whatever reasons. And then COVID happened. Maybe, I don't know, I would have been one of those flyers if I was still there in the industry, right? And similarly, I also then further worked along with few more friends, similar mindset. We tried to open one of the industries because one of our friends in that circle was having a masala industry experience. He was opening it up, and then we all joined hands and tried to do something, or it didn't fly as well. Yeah, one thing, what I always feel, and then somehow I realized you have to give 100% to that particular idea. And you should be a subject matter expert, putting your 200% into that particular problem statement and try to run with it. Definitely, like Bina said, money and then your ability to do and all is important. But yeah, unless you have your own idea, I'm not talking about your own idea, unless you completely believe in that idea, put your fullest there, that would be one of the definite factors to be successful. Second and foremost thing which I just missed to speak about in my previous few sentences was also that this is the right time. If you folks have some idea, I did hear about 30 to 40% of you wanted to be entrepreneurs, right? Take that risk right away. Maybe if you ask me, will I be able to really take that risk? I have few commitments. I have few loans running. I have few kids here to take care of education, maybe few parents. And yeah, if I ask sir, maybe yes, he's even more equipped now. He can take risk. He's like crossed up survey as well. Even now he's saying no. Right? So what I'm really suggesting, if you have something in mind and you're still young enough to take that risk, please proceed. Another advice, you will never be able to, I don't know, I'll not say that you will never, but yes, it's highly unlikely that your first attempts will be successful. Right? You should keep exploring for options. You should keep hitting those ideas as well. You should keep challenging yourself, whether am I in the right place or not. Maybe that is something which will also help you become more and more into that area. Just last couple of sentences before I close in, I don't know, I am just talking a bit more here. One of my friend whom I just mentioned, right? He came out of, he was working at Philips in a very good post. He came out. I couldn't come out for whatever reasons then. I continued my software journey and I was trying to sail in both boats, which is really not the right way to go about. He didn't feel like going back to the professional setup. He was so much excited with that opportunity of that exposure, of bringing something of our own from idea to production. He continued to explore such ideas further, and now he's a successful businessman. So once you have that exposure, once you are entering into that entrepreneurship, I bet you will never come back. You will make your way for sure in one way or the other. And even worst case, if you have to come back, you would have learned so much. Yeah, we'll be more than happy to absorb you here in the system.
We have one more question here.
Hello everyone. Good afternoon to all the experts there. This side Satish Soni. I belong from Rewa, Madhya Pradesh. Sir, my question is regarding AI. How can I get mentorship about AI from you? And my second question is, what India is doing regarding AI? Like we have DeepSeek, which is from China, and OpenAI. So basically, but what are we doing about AI?
Thanks, man. I missed your name again. Satish. Satish. Wonderful question. Yeah, what we're doing from India is like, you are in Bangalore, which is one of the silicon cities of the world. And definitely we here in India are also contributing to that journey. Okay? Hands down that there are so many innovations driven from India as well. Maybe as part of bigger enterprise like Microsoft, for example, or Google's and all, we have our development centers here, and we are also joining hands as part of that journey. Okay? That's fine. Yeah. In terms of, maybe that was earlier, maybe 10 to 15 years back, industry was a bit different. India had only services kind of jobs where we were supporting a call center or we were trying to set up a few of those back offices. Now it's not the case. We are more or less at par to anyone across the world trying to deliver products. Okay? That's first thing said. Maybe the second aspect is a very interesting one on how can I upskill? How can I be really up to the mark around AI? There are so many open materials today. Maybe I'll also work with our professors here to see how I can also be of some help and support. But if you are open to learn, if you are having that interest to build a skill around what is AI and what is it offering, there is so much of material around. I'll also pass on a few of those materials which we all can be equipped with. AI is not about building it today, right? Maybe we, as part of few of our enterprises, have built it for you. It's like Word or Excel. You don't build it, right? To be honest, you are using Word, you're using PowerPoints, you are using Excel to make your own items. The same way AI is that much matured now. If you want to run a business, if you want to build a business, you can use the AI, and then AI will help you build it. I'll also try to send out those materials, and we'll see how we can get up to speed there. If you guys want to add anything on this?
I'll just add to that. I'll talk about the role of AI as a non-engineering background person, which I think a lot of you will also be. So AI is evolving in such a way that you can use those tools without having any prior knowledge of engineering or coding or programming. That's the whole point of the evolution of AI. It's made in such a way that it's simple and it should ideally be usable by all. So if you do not have an engineering background, don't think that's any reason not to explore AI in any way. I have nothing to do with engineering and will never have anything to do with engineering, but I use AI in my daily job. My teams do. So explore AI as simply tools, and the most commercial ones generally you don't need to know Python, you don't need to know any programming to use AI. So that's just one thing I wanted to add for all non-engineering backgrounds here.
Just to add on to what Sriram just mentioned, how many from BCom background out here? Not bad, as expected. So just to tell you, in the bank, right? We have chartered accountants, we have, commerce graduates who, writes risk for our clients. Okay. Now, how does the bank know where can I put in money, right? We do a risk on the client, and only then we decide whether we want to put money or not. So this whole process, when I joined the bank way back in 2005, it used to take almost a month's time. Then it moved down to almost a week to 10 days, with the coming of AI, right? This is done in flat 4-5 minutes. So, that's the revolution that we're talking about. So, I was just adding that, you don't need to know, or you don't need to build AI to work on AI. You can be a user to the AI tool, right? That's it. Thank you.
Good afternoon, panel members. I would like to ask you, Sir Thejaswi, sir, you told that art of storytelling, right? So how can we develop the art of storytelling from scratch? Because we as Gen Z members, we are a bit behind in the art of storytelling. So I would like to ask that.
I don't know how do we learn it, but just keep telling stories. Maybe that's one way I'm feeling it. See, idea is we should bring a structure, like Bina ma'am was also saying, right? We should bring a structure to whatever we are doing, and that structure could be that I have an idea or I have to present something. and there's a given time limit to it. And how can I make the person sitting in front of me understand this particular narrative, right? And it also depends on the audience. It also depends on the content which you're preparing. And practice. I do believe that practicing that particular, because most of us are not having good hold on this language. English is not my mother tongue. English is not my first language. Maybe today I'm able to speak a bit in front of you folks because of practice as well. And don't hesitate to keep trying, because all of us are much, much comfortable in our languages which we are born with. Maybe I am from Karnataka and I speak Kannada a bit better. I speak Hindi. Maybe English, as part of our professional career, we have started cultivating that as well. But more and more practice is one area for sure. We will get more and more confidence every passing day. And a bit of structure to what we want to really convey is the base for storytelling. End of the day, I want to make sure my audience is really getting the essence or getting the message which I really want to convey to them. Because there are a lot of cases where if I'm an entrepreneur and I want to pitch my idea to one of my capitalists, and it all boils down to what am I going to sell my idea in the best possible way. Right? Just think in that particular context. And in the next 2 years, I'll not even say 2 years, in the next 2 months, as you are part of such a vibrant teaching curriculum as well. I was also speaking to Sir here a bit earlier. There's so much in store for you folks that even though you don't want to be a good storyteller, you will end up being a good storyteller in a month or two's time. So trust me on that. But yeah, it's a journey and it's a learning process. I think slowly we all will get there if you're not there yet. I think, yes.
I think you can tell a story only when you have a story, unless you are a master manipulator and you can imagine a lot of things, which I don't think you should be. And you can have a story only when you expose yourself to certain experiences, or all experiences, depending on, of course, what they are, right? We are very comfortable these days, at least based on observation. I would be happy to be proved wrong, to be holding the phone in our hands for 2-3 hours and scrolling on Instagram mindlessly, or looking at Facebook. I don't know if anybody is on Facebook anymore, but okay. But I think the scrolls on YouTube and Insta are so vital to our timetable in the day that we're okay not talking to anyone. We don't want to meet our relatives. We don't want to go to parties. We don't want to go out with friends. We're okay being on Instagram and telling them that we have a social life, right? By posting some pictures here and there. If you get out of that, you get the chance to connect with real human beings, whether you like it or not. When you do that, you are exposed to experiences. Those are the stories that you take forward, even in terms of work opportunities, either in college or outside. If you volunteer to be a part of something, and that can be anything. It can be setting the stage for today. It can be calling all the coordinators for the program. It is not about big work or small work, but anything that you expose yourself to creates your life story. And then when you have it, you are automatically in a position to talk about it. So I think going through the experience is a very major part of allowing yourself to be a good storyteller later. Yeah.
Just to quickly add, I didn't get your name. Okay, Pravalika, what course have you chosen? Now. Or you have? Oh, I'm so sorry. So you haven't you haven't decided what your special. Good. So I just wanted to add from what all of them talked about, right? A lot of questions on entrepreneurship, etc., right? There's something called an elevator pitch. I don't know, if you've heard of this term, but please do Google this. Your storytelling, your pitch that you do, right? In New York, they have tall towers, right? So, the only time that an entrepreneur typically gets to talk about what his pitch is in the elevator. So, there are courses, Google, you have technology, which maybe about 15, 20 years back, right? When we look at it, we didn't have access to internet the way it is available today. So, please utilize your time. Spend time on Google. Everything is there. Google, when you all go back today, just Google elevator pitch. It'll tell you how you can develop the pitch. And like, Bina rightly mentioned, if you really want to tell a story, you need to have a story. Thank you.
Good evening to all. Good evening to ma'am and sir. Sir, as you know, we are going to start our GIBS journey and business journey, and after 2 years we will complete it. Then, sir, I would like to ask any 2 to 3 points you want to share with us, so that if we will look back after 2 years, so we would not need to regret. Like ये और कर लेना चाहिए था. Then it would easy to us to open our business and to start up. Any 2 to 3 skills that we are most needed after 2 years, sir, for the business.
2 or 3 tips to get through. 2 or 3 tips to get through MBA. Is that what you're asking?
Any most high required skills that we need to take care of till the whole journey of our GIBS.
While you're here.
Yes.
You're asking for skill sets that you need to have
Yes,
once you
ma'am. Yes,
complete the
ma'am.
journey.
Yes, ma'am.
Humility, I'd propose one, and the rest of you can take it. I think being humble is going to be very, very important, because it is very easy to get pulled into the flow of, having a big ego and an image of yourself that, you're out from a business school and you've got a big opportunity somewhere. And so I think staying humble, staying grounded, telling yourself to learn every day, no matter who or where you are, that is going to be really, really helpful in all situations. Yeah.
Just to add that, Thejaswi just mentioned, you need to upgrade. See, when I passed out from college, we had computers. We never knew that, AI is going to come, right? But people are using AI today. You will see it faster than we see it, right? So you need to upskill yourself, upgrade yourself as you grow.
I'm going to repeat the same thing again. I know more words in English, so I'm sorry I'm saying this again and again. It's partnership and collaboration for me. Because in college, when I was in college, it was very easy for me to say that, he didn't share his lunch with me, so I'm not going to do project with him. But I can't do that in office, no? So partnership and collaboration. I'll say this 1,000 times more. That's going to matter a lot. Your success is determined by how well you work with people you like, as well as people who you don't get along with. And we can't get along with everybody. That's a fact. So 1,000-time partnership and collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you, all the panel members, for sharing such insightful perspective and your experiences. Today's discussion highlighted that true leadership starts with purposeful learning, rooted not only in knowledge, but also in curiosity, critical thinking, and action. We have seen how higher education can bridge theory and practice through experiential learning, mentorship, value-driven development. Thank you, all the panelists, and thank you, audience, for being a part of this meaningful conversation. On behalf of entire GIBS team, I extend my heartfelt thanks to our esteemed panelists for their insights and the audiences for their keen interest. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening ahead.